Hello everybody. I hope that wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, that you are beginning to feel all those warm, fuzzy Christmas and holiday vibes. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so glad to have you. Today we'll be spending a little bit of time fireside decorating the mantle. Then we'll be moving on over to the heart of the home, which is the kitchen. And I'll be giving you a little peek inside some of my favorite local shops around here and share with you some of my favorite finds that I have found this year. All this with a few DIYs sprinkled in between. In my last video, we decorated the foyer, so if you missed that, I'd highly recommend you visiting that as it is one of my favorite spaces in the home. I did add a few things which I'll be sharing that with you as well. This week I will not only be putting out one new video, but several, so keep an eye out for that. Also, a million thank yous to those of you who already have. I'm thoroughly enjoying getting to know y'all along the way. But if you haven't yet and enjoyed this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe, like this video if you happen to like it, and leave me a comment below as I do my best to reach out to as many as possible. And if you'd like to be notified, go ahead and hit that notification. Lastly, if you have a friend that may find my videos useful or entertaining, I would absolutely be so appreciative if you would share it as well. If you'd like to see a little bit more personal side of our daily lives, you can check out my Instagram account at Ozarkdwellers. That is Ozarks with an S, a little bit different than the Ozarkdwellers here. I am a former professional photographer, so Instagram is really an outlet for me to kind of share that side of my creativity, and I do want to continue to do that, but I also wanted to create a place where maybe I could gauge what y'all may be thinking and throw out some ideas of potential content and kind of fill out some of your opinions or suggestions. So feel free to meet me over there. Until then, let's head off to the kitchen. Okay, yeah, I knew it wasn't something I could hide for long. I was sure I would eventually have to let y'all know I've got a major problem. And that problem is an absolute mug obsession. I cannot go anywhere without purchasing one every single season. I at least add a few to my collection. I'm running out of places to put them, and I have more than I know what to do with. But they make me happy. Copper and brass may also have my number, so when I found this duo of gingerbread cookie cutters, I knew I had to have them, and I think they are the perfect accent and balance out the other brass items in my kitchen beautifully. And if you're new here and you happen to not have met my mini-me, my helper bee, Miss Lola Rose, she's off on Fridays and it is one of my favorite days of the week. This is just our time to spend together, and she happens to love baking, decorating, and all things creative just as much as I do, so we have a really good time together at the end of every week. So as I mentioned a couple of videos ago, the stamps would resurface again, and here they are. If you happen to miss my video where I made wrapping paper, you can check that out about 2 videos back. For those of you who did see it, you can see how a simple color change can just make all the difference in the world and just create a whole new look by simply changing out the color of the wrapping paper and the ink. For this next project, I found a few framed brass ornaments from our local Target store, and I immediately thought stamps, as I had been trying to figure out new ways to use them and implement them because I just love them so much. I knew this would be the perfect project. So the stamps that you see here, they're actually handmade block stamps, and they are intended, I believe, for fabrics, so they didn't fare quite as well if you're looking for that really perfect print, but I think the almost faded look is really beautiful too. I really wanted to show off the handmade paper, so I went ahead and just ripped the edges into the size that I needed them. If you're looking for handmade paper, Amazon is a really great place to find it, and honestly is the most affordable. I just love this project because it can be changed out from year to year, and adding, like I said in the beginning, a simple color change just makes it completely different. And the fact that it is handmade is just the icing on the top. All right, let's move on to one of my favorite places to decorate, which is the mantle. Like most things that I decorated this year, I wanted to keep it extremely simple. I've said it before, an easy switch of the artwork is one of the most impactful ways to change the mood completely. I never worry about matching the size of the frame. As long as it's not too large, it's just the right size to fit. As you can see here, the artwork is clearly smaller than the frame. I simply turned over the board that came with the frame and placed the artwork on top. Our family has expanded in size quite a bit this year, and even this not so small 1800s barn beam still isn't quite enough to accommodate all the stockings, so the rest of the stockings are hung in other places. As you can probably guess, my favorite stockings aren't store-bought, but rather are made from reclaimed antique Indian rugs. I just absolutely fell in love with the colors and knew I had to have them when I saw them. Stay tuned for the final reveal at the end. Until then, let's go shopping. Vintage, antique, and mom and pop shops are some of my favorite places to find the most beautiful and unique Christmas items. There's something about the excitement of not knowing exactly what you're going to find, and the thrill of when you actually do stumble upon something that is too good to pass on. I rarely walk in looking for specific items. I just generally keep in the back of my mind the overall mood, feel, and color scheme of everything back home. Of course, considering my love for plants, I'm always looking for anything that I can turn into a planter. Items that can be repurposed and reused throughout other seasons are always a win as well. For any of you who are into those fun, funky colors, here's a quick peek into our newest shop downtown. And if you're interested in getting more looks into our local shops, just let me know in the comments. Hopefully I'm not boring you with this footage. I'm just brought back to the beginning of my pregnancy when I was extremely ill, barely able to move, much less go visit some of my favorite shops and just do a little retail therapy. And I remember some of my favorite YouTubers taking the viewers into their favorite spaces and places and just being so appreciative and feeling like it was just a breath of fresh air. So if you happen to be in that position, maybe I could do the same for you. Hopefully you are finding it at least a little bit entertaining. I won't bore you with all of the antique Christmas finds I found this year, but here are a few of them. Okay, so remember how I just said I had a mug problem? So stockings may fall into a similar category. If you've been following along our Christmas series, then you've seen quite a few different varieties of them and maybe spotted the issue yourself. A bit ago, while perusing through stockings that I really don't need, I came across a stocking made of antique materials. I mean, the thing had every asset a person could want in a stocking. Nice lines, perfectly lived in and colorful material. You name it, this stocking had it. Problem was, it was about $200. I'm willing to invest in a good stocking, but dropping over $1,000 for a set that would accommodate each of us, I needn't say more. So I had been thinking about this thing for quite a while when I was washing my hands. Like a gift from above, I went to grab the towel to dry my dripping phalanges off and recognized how beautiful the fabric of this cloth was. I realized this simple dishcloth had all the qualities as far as materials go that the stocking I had been thinking and pondering about for so long had. Thus the creation of this next DIY. I'd so love to hear about any stockings that you make, but in the meantime, here is the final pan back of the fireplace. I hope you enjoyed this video. Final reveal of the kitchen coming up, as my grains did not come in time, but I'd love for you to join us in the coming videos as we will be heading off to the tree farm, decorating our Christmas tree, and doing lots more. Stay tuned, as the video will be coming up a lot sooner this week. Hit that subscribe and notification button so you will be sure not to miss it. Until we meet again, I will see you soon. Bye-bye.